Good day, everyone. For today's topic, I will tackle realism and its history in the Philippines to commemorate the Philippine social realism movement. Now, let's move on to the next slide. What you can expect to learn from this topic. Of course, I will discuss the history of realism and why artists study realism. Of course, I will show some of social realism art in the Philippines. Okay, the history of realism. Realism, sometimes referred to as naturalism, appeared in France during the 1950s after the 1948 revolution. Following this revolution, the right to work had been firmly established in France. With this revolution, casting fresh light on the typical working class population, as well as their current surroundings and everyday situation. As a people, as a result, ordinary people were suddenly recognized as attractive and respectable topics or subjects, and artists began to reflect society as a whole in their works. Now, um, before we go to the topic why artists study realism, first let's define what is realism. Realism is a term that is used to describe artwork that are painted in a realistic, almost photographic way. It refers to a mid-19th century artistic movement that was characterized by subject painted from ordinary life in a spontaneous manner. Now we know what's realism. Let's proceed. Why artists study realism? Okay. When you first learn to draw or enroll in art classes like this, you will most often begin by mastering realism or replicating anything you see. This is because drawing something from your thoughts is far more difficult than drawing something that is directly in front of you. Learning to draw realistically, such as the human body, will also help you learn to stylize them later. Okay. So the reason here, the most reason here why artists or white people study realism is because it's harder to draw something from your head than something that's right in front of you. That's very true. Most of the people is having struggle, uh, having having that struggle. They don't have creativity in their uh, in their in their mind. That's why they most often go or study realism because it's easier to draw something something that's right in front of you. So let's move on to the Philippine social realism. Okay, social realism in the visual arts came out of the politicized Filipino consciousness molded by the Philippine Revolution against Spain in 1986 and the fight against the autocratic dictatorship in the 1970s, according to historian Alice Guillermo. So here we can see, you can see the EDSA Bala by Jose Ten's Ruiz is showing that the military is using the guns and the uh, the bullet of it is the people of the country. Okay. So next, I will show some other people's social realism like this. Patay Gutom by Neil Tolorican is our farmers uh, carrying some bag of rice. And then in the right side is the politician that we can clearly see. It is the First Lady Imelda Marcos, having all the privileges they have as the first family of the Philippines, while the, the farmers are carrying bags every day while they are barefoot. Uh, so we can see the struggles here in this picture between the normal Filipino like back in 1970s, and on the right side the privilege of the first family. Okay, here is Peace BBQ with Edgar Talusan Fernandez. So you can see here a woman uh, inside a woman or a nun holding something, while in this bottom part of the art is the, the soldier and the people are fighting. I assume this is representing its people power, and then there is the nun is in the middle is to make them uh, to make them uh, unite against the government. I think that's the message behind this art of Edgar Talusan Fernandez. So um, that's all, guys. Thank you for listening to my topic. I hope you learned something for today's topic. Now I will show you the reference where I got this beautiful artworks and articles. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.